In large cities like Chicago, you have a large amount of what's called naturally occurring affordable housing, and a large percentage of that is 2 flats, 3 flats, 4 flats.
2 to 4 unit buildings are really important to low and moderate income families. They tend to disproportionately provide housing for those types of households. And they're also lower cost than other types of buildings. And in Chicago, since 2012, we've seen a reduction of about 15,000 units. In stronger markets, we're seeing 2 to 4 unit buildings being lost through conversion to single-family homes. And in weaker areas, we're seeing them lost through deterioration, demolition, vacancy, abandonment.
We know now more and more about the impacts of displacement on low-income families. If a child moves to a different school, it's going to impact their educational attainment levels. It's going to also impact them from the standpoint of being located closer to jobs and access to transit.
Chicago is a city of neighborhoods. We have neighborhoods and you start to unravel those neighborhoods and break them up and to take away that character, I think you're undermining the fabric of the city.
Roots was an initiative put together by our volunteer housing leaders because of what they saw going on in the community. Investors were coming in, buying up these 2 to 4 flat properties, converting them into very high rental properties or deconverting them into a single family home that no existing resident could afford. So we saw the displacement of families, especially longtime residents.
Our preservation strategy has really been to focus in on getting a mission-driven developer to acquire these units and then preserve them as affordable housing. What we found is that we can do this very cost-effectively. It costs about $350,000 per unit to build a new affordable property, where we're able to preserve these units for about $150,000 per unit. So we're really going to be building off of the success of the Roots initiative, and now it's about how can we take it to a larger scale.
We have to partner with stakeholders in neighborhoods because they know best what their needs are. We have nonprofit partners, community development corporations, local community organizations that we partner with. We partner with local elected officials.
State Farm has been involved since the beginning of the Roots initiative, and we're working with the Cook County Land Bank to help with acquisition of properties. We're working with the City of Chicago to provide the needed subsidy. We're working with the DePaul Institute of Housing Studies to try to help us understand what markets, what neighborhoods we should be looking at and prioritizing.
What I see is a lot of different collaborations and groups coming together that haven't worked together before or hadn't worked together in the same way.
Enterprise will be working to bring together the investors, the capital, the programmatic efforts, and the policies that are going to be needed for this to be successful.
I'm from here. I grew up here. And in fact, I grew up in market rate affordable 2 to 4 unit buildings across the north side. I think what makes our city a great city is the fact that it's diverse and it has very unique neighborhoods. Affordable housing is critical to ensuring that uniqueness of neighborhoods, to ensure the diversity. And I think a measure for how great a city is how great it is for everybody.
People are already living in these homes. And so the importance of preserving the existing housing stock is really about keeping people in their homes and keeping them in their communities.
I have a passion for affordable housing and the preservation of housing. And I truly believe that everyone has a right to live where they want to live, and housing matters.